Check, check, check. Islam, Moors. Islam. Islam. Yes. It's all about house shoes right now. You know what I'm saying? So put them up. You know what I mean? Put them up. Because we're on the wise road right now. We're on the rise road. We're on the Vince Carter jump over a 7-footer right now. Forget all you dunker guys, because you guys suck. We're just going to put it on the record again, just to let everybody know, you know what I'm saying, that it's a documented fact in the Muslim Journal, right? There's not some more stuff, or Muslim people stuff. Letting people know that the Moor scientists and Noble Drew Ali are the forerunners to the Nation of Islam. Alright? So we want to give high honors to the Prophet, Noble Drew Ali. You know? Don't even worry about anybody else in the picture. They don't matter. None of them don't matter. All these people right here, look, all these people, none of them don't even matter. You know why? Because Noble Drew Ali in this time said he came for the young and unborn. All these people obviously don't qualify. So Noble Drew Ali came for you, Negro, black, colored, whatever you call yourself, thinking that you know yourself because you say Kemet, and because you went and saw some pyramids, you know yourself. Back to your nationality, and you're talking some type of crap. That's who your ancestors are, and can't stick to one thing. For it's universal, and then it's earth people, and then it's half lion people, half ibis bird people. You don't even know who the hell you are. So Noble Drew Ali came to tell you, you're not Negro, black, or colored. Colored, fake. You're not anything other than who your ancient foremothers and forefathers are and were. And that's Moors. And that's all that matters. So Islam to all the active Moors that know that this is about birthright. Oh yeah. And just so the Moors, you know, get the point that we're trying to make on this crap social media BS, right? People think that's real. What we're saying on that crap was support nationalities, businesses. Don't support adjectives, businesses. So just like we say don't support black businesses, don't support yellow ones either. Or white ones. Or brown ones. Pinstripe ones, none of those businesses, don't support them. Support nationalities. Because that's all that is going to save these sorry people that consider to self-classify themselves as black people and cause their own self-destruction. And blame white men that they would never ever go and shoot in the face for raping their mom in the freaking barn, cutting open the stomach. They never do Django. The hell out of here. Fakers. Keep playing around. Goddamn gun club. You don't even have a constitutional right to bear arms because you're a black idiot. But it's okay. So I Noble Drew Ali came. And you could just study him and don't even listen to hear what I'm saying. Because support more businesses. So we got the more business, knitted, fitted. You know what I'm saying? So if you want your knitted, fitted, the knitted, fitted, you know what I mean? Because we make our stuff. Been doing that. You know what I mean? Islam to Showtime. And then all you could do is you could just go on YouTube and just research brass tacks, icebreaker classic, and anything else that comes up under brass tacks. And hear what they were talking about. Same guys who do the knitted fitted Hear what they were talking about back then. And tell me if they weren't Moors back then. Not even calling themselves Moors. Not even know nothing about Moors on a level like we're Moors. But, you know, he's Hebrew. He's Hebrew. He's Israelite. And he recognizes Moors. And he went out of his way to make sure that the Moors have the knitted fitted first with the tassels. This is custom. So if you want the knitted fitted, I mean, support more businesses. 77 Capitol Street at gmail.com. 77 Capitol Street at gmail.com for the knitted fitted. I know, you know, family man and all the stuff, so don't get hyped. Think you're gonna get your stuff in, you know, a week, right? Support his stuff so he has to quit his job that he has to start making knitted fitteds again. If we want to see something for the Moors. Other than that, you know what I mean? Support, you know what I mean? You know how we do Moors. We just support nationalities. You know what I mean? So big up to the fam. And oh yeah, don't forget also from last class, because Moors were asking, the red Moroccan flag sweater. tinyurl.com/moreflag. tinyurl.com/moreflag. So Noble Drew Ali came and told these self-destructionists that he came for them, you know, but they never heard about him ever. They don't even know who he is. But they know about all these other stuff. They know about Garveyites and Haile Selassies and all this stuff. But they don't know about Noble Drew Ali telling them they're not Negro, black, colored, or African, or Ethiopian, or Kemetic, or any other of the stuff that you want to claim as an identity. But when we say, okay, you know what I mean, put it on the record. Well, you don't got that. You have no card. You have no papers. Nothing to prove that that's your status. But people with nationalities are supposed to go with that. People with nationalities won't go with that. Right? And what's worse is that the so-called devil, white man, is slapping these guys with truth. Every day, all day. Slapping them with truth. Every day, all day. And they don't want to get it. They think Moors is some join up stuff. You join the Moors. Yeah, I'm gonna join the Moors. It's not the martial arts class or something like that. This is birthrights. Birthrights. So Islam to Sons of Allah, because holy smokes. Now, Moors speak about a particular theme. The theme about Moors that are active Moors, that when you're studying all this information out there about Moors, what you should look out for are the Moors that talk about constitutional and human rights. That should be a focal point. That should be a reference point. Constitutional rights and human rights. Human rights, rights of Aboriginal Indigenous people. because there's a lot out there, but hardly you hear people talk about that. Why? Because that's free. And they don't want to talk about free stuff. They want 4,300. So, this is a quote, by the way. You know what I mean? Islam to Sons of Allah. By the time the wide wind was done with the substitute father, he went from white collar to clan member to wearing a hijab, doing Moore's Islamic hand mudra. Check the picture press of Atlantic City, September 27, 2015 Gregorian calendar. So the press of Atlantic City, windswept speech, windswept speech. And then remember, nationality, right? Nationality is relative to constitutional rights and Aboriginal indigenous rights and rights of human beings. Windswept speech. So went from white collar to clan member to Muslim, telling the Moors Islam. The Pope, not the Pope, the Pope. You know that's the high five he has over his shoulder. Is that right there? You know that's what that is. Because why are you reaching across your body to move the thing off your head when you could just use your left hand, which is closer? Got his hijab on. Telling the Moors, message to the Moors, the Pope knows what's up. Told the clanners, I know what's up. Right? Had the white collar, for all the so-called white collar, whether it's priest, doctor, whoever. And then came with the hijab, giving the Moors, the Islam, which is also the Pope's version of this. The Pope's version of this, some Muslim people coming out and saying, hey, Nation of Islam's not the founders of that stuff, it's Noble Drew Ali and whatever. Here's the Pope with the hijab, which represents, Muslim stuff, the same people, black guys, up in their little whatever, talking about their black Asiatics and all this BS. But what's he giving them? He's not giving them Assalamu Alaikum, he's giving them the Islam. The Pope. The Pope. Letting them know. A lot of retributions on them. Don't worry about all the stuff you got in the earth plane. You worry about after earth plane, where you're heading. Continuing with your foolishness. Fleecing these peoples out of their birthright. The Pope. Enough people out there who say that they're Moors one time when they were whatever, kissed the Pope's ring if he would have came to town. Before they were Moors and they were whatever, right? Now they're Moors, right? They can verify that, yeah, I would have kissed this guy's ring at one time. And now he's saying Islam to Moors in symbology on the grand stage of Philadelphia, which, yeah, there's also a speech that goes with this. So you're going to go check the speech that the Pope wrote, said, put it out there. Put it out there. Right? Just go read the speech. Right? But before you go to the speech, just to put it on the record, that Moors have been telling these people this for however long. Moors been telling people, right? This is the Treaty of Peace and Friendship book. Go get it. RV Publications, page 57, and you're going to read Thomas Jefferson's philosophical thoughts on Christianity and religion. So you're going to read that, and then you're going to go read the Pope's letter and tell me if the Pope isn't talking to Moors, which is all these people who are classified as Negro, black, colored people, and they want to be that instead of be Moors. And the Pope's talking to them in the speech, because he's backing up everything that Moors been telling people ever since the resurgence of active Moors, because Moors have been passive for 90 years in Moorish movement. Moors have been so passive that active Moors do things, and then passive Moors, passivity kills what was done by the active Moor. And then people want to know, where's the Moors whatever? What do you mean, where's the Moors whatever? We told you that we got it fitted. Where you go with starter stuff and all that crap? Chinaman's making hats. Like this handmade stuff. There's anybody else out there who has handmade stuff. That's supporting the marketplace. But Moors been telling people. Then Pope's coming now and telling people. Same stuff that Moors been telling people for the past whatever. Pope now is coming and telling them. They're gonna play like they don't know. They're not gonna push this. They're gonna push some other stuff, and then complain and have people wasting fiat now going and buying guns and all this type of stuff to go shoot targets. When a highwayman just kicked a youth man's ass in his classroom. Highwayman just beat up a youth man. A youth man. You tell me black doesn't mean death? Keep saying that you're black. See what you get. Because you know you're supposed to have your own schools. We put that on the crap book too. So you complaining about these guys doing stuff. That's their school. That's their jurisdiction. You're the one put your son or daughter in there. Why they're getting that. That's not them. They've been doing that. When we had school, they were like, yeah, nothing new. Think people that didn't get punked off? They call police to the school and stuff like that. High school? That's the same stuff that they're doing. Right now. Still. Why? Because people want to be black. They don't want to build their own school. Oh, yeah, because black people can't do anything, but the Hindu people, they come here, they build their own school or whatever. Buddhists come, build their whatever. Muslims come, build their whatever. And then Negro, black, colored people, they're going to go build some stuff in Las Vegas before they build something in Chicago, where the gun capital is, the murder capital is crazy. These youths need something to do. But they're not going to do that. They're going to go bright lights, big city, build some stuff down goddamn there. And then think that people aren't suffering outside their crap that they're doing. People got roaches running on their faces and stuff. You're talking about not trying to get people out of that black status that is creating all their, getting their son's ass kicked in his class. All that stuff, getting shot up on the street and all that is because of black stuff. No status. Whether because the individual says they're black this, black people, black whatever, or because you say that so much, whoever, highwayman or whatever, just gonna assume that you're that. I mean, you call yourself that. So if you call yourself, well, speaking about calling yourself black and thinking that that's something real, but then not being able to accept the reality that it's a fiction, and they get emotional, you got that.
So, you are French?
Yes, I'm French.
So you are French?
Yes, I'm French.
Okay, what do they call black people in France? Wait, hold on, we get into that. Yeah.
Les Noirs means black.
The black. So when you see, huh? First of all, let's do.
So, what do you call black people? What do you call black people in French? And then she made her reply because she's French. Oh, but the black status blocks you. The black status puts you in a dead mindset that they don't even get what she just relayed to them. That black, which is an adjective, has a reference point in her language that has nothing to do with people. It's just a description. So it's not an identity because she's French. She says that she's French. But they're sticking to a black status, trying to justify blackness to somebody that's French, which is relative to France, which is a nation of people that have nationality as a mindset. So they're not identifying themselves as beige. Right there, right now, 10,000 people. Whether they have counter or whatever, who cares? Right? People are digesting this information into their subconscious mind because they're black. They're not even thinking about what the hell this sister is relaying to this brother who doesn't want to have a nationality. But she clearly identified herself in the beginning that she has a nationality. And they recognize that she has a nationality. She didn't call herself a color. So nationality must have some type of significance. So why are you mad at Moors when we say nationality? If they can accept the fact that she's French, not even argue it. Right? Not even argue it. Now, keep in mind that European psychology creates black people thinking from a patriarchal mindset. European psychology, so-called black whatever people, conscious, unconscious, whatever. The psychology that the European put on these Negroes that don't want to be Moors is so deep that psychology makes them want to be what they're not. Like they're willingly being the fiction. But don't forget, remember, certain people have a Moroccan flag in their house. So are they really doing that? Or are they really doing that to mislead the people into not getting down with nationality? Because nationality is the order of the day. Ask the French sister.
With that, she says she's French. You can look at her and see she's not French.
Okay, no.
Right? So now again, the European psychology of I'm black, right? That's European psychology. Pale European psychology. That thing has them living an illusion. Because now he's going to say, she's not French. Look at her. Which means that they're basing it on appearance. But then lessons is don't judge a book by its cover. So don't judge a book by its cover, that's a lesson. But then you're judging this French book by its cover. Right? Because she looks quote unquote Asian or whatever. That's a fiction. Because she's French. And remember, there's also the patriarchal, which again is European psychology. That's why they get mad. That's why they were mad at the harem. Because it's only logical for the European women to get with the Moor. Like what? Who else do you get? Why is she going to get with a recessive being? Why would a woman, whether she has melanin or not, the fact that she gives birth means that she's on a higher plane than a man, regardless whether he says he's God or whatever. Right? Because woman is supreme, you know, skin and stuff like that. Forget that crap. Patriarchal concept is in conflict with chematology. Because chematology is matriarch rule. Black power. Black power is matriarch rule. It's the woman who was running the Black Power movement. It wasn't the brothers that they were showing you. Go check the record. The women that were running that, they were doing the background stuff that people aren't seeing on the surface. Don't judge a book by its cover again. Look at the tassels, what Moors got. Tassels are feminine. Fez is feminine. Turban is feminine. The nation is feminine. But these guys are on their patriarchal Roman mentality and say that they're conscious, misleading all these thousands of people from realizing that you're playing yourself, calling yourself something you're not, because it's not a nationality. Proving the patriarchal concept now.
Why you gotta pull that over on
She's
you?
probably from Paris, so she calls
Yes.
herself French.
Where did
I have a French passport.
you have a French passport? What's your nationality? What's your...
So he knows. The black guys know that someone who doesn't look like them, to qualify where they're from, you're going to ask them their nationality. But they're going to go at Moors. This is what Moors are doing. Talk crap, try to mislead people away from Noble Drew Ali, who's their prophet, into this dead mindset of self-destruction, where you do it to yourself. It's not pale people doing anything. Putting rituals on your own self with a word. Forget about all the other stuff that you don't know about that you're doing to yourself. This one word.
grandmother, where's she from?
So my French grandmother is from France.
France.
And my mother is completely French.
And your grandfather.
And my French grandfather is completely French. What you want to ask me if
Yes.
if I am mixed or not?
Yes.
So my father is Japanese.
Oh, okay.
Right? Now, that my grandmother is whatever French. My aunt is French. Granddad was French. Yours is France. Nationality is a matriarchal concept. So it's going to go through the mother. This is her thinking. This is her thinking. Her thinking is nationality. Okay, you asked me what my nationality is. Okay, my nationality is what my mother is. So I'm French. I have a French passport.
Oh.
No. See, so you are with your father.
Yes.
So you're pushing the patriarch crap, trying to tell her that she is what her father is, which is totally contrary to her mental positioning of this conversation, because we're supposed to be talking about nationality, but you're telling me about my father, and then she shatters that one.
You're not French, you Japanese.
I'm as French as Japanese, and actually, because Japan doesn't want me to have two passports.
Right, just like
Right? So the father side doesn't want her to have two sides, because the father side, Japanese, they're patriarchal. Whatever regime that they're under right now has strayed away from the path, just like all the rest of them. That she could have two passports, but one side doesn't want her to have two. This is from her now. This is what she said, so it must be legit. Right? Again, making her having to choose between your nationality or you're going to be stateless, because that's the only two options. And she, among the black people, didn't go along with the, yeah, I'm Japanese or whatever. No, because that's a fiction. She can't be Japanese if she has a nationality, because nationality is the mother. So she's French. And they try to force it, and you know what I mean? She's just putting up her blocks, because now this is where you realize now that they've lost touch with getting back to the source. Once you can't get back to the source, you're lost. There's nothing gonna, you're gone, floating in space. Because nationality, just like the Moors, more is more to the more. Because all of it is more. Land means more. Anchoring on land means more. Water means more. The head guy that's controlling the ship means more. So that's all that we can be. If we're not that, which is our nationality, which ties us to a land, John Henry Clark told you. But they always keep avoiding it and living this fiction and wanting you to live this fiction with them. Case in point, got a call from a Moor, just getting on this info, you know what I mean, just getting on this info, you know what I mean, and he gets stopped by a highwayman. He's got plates are suspended, license is good or whatever, insurance is good, you know what I mean, right? Gets stopped by the highwayman, and because he has a nationality card, and him being behind the wheel in this instance has nothing to do with him driving but traveling. Why am I going to show a license? If I have a nationality card, logically thinking, without even knowing that that's what he's doing. Because it was all spirit just running through him, because he's an individual like many other people, who this is so pure to them because they never really had any issues that stuff happens and they don't even realize what just happened. Right? So anyway, highwayman comes up, you know what I mean? I want to see the stuff. He's like, yeah, here. This, I've never seen one like this before, you know. Whatever. Highwayman starts breaking down to him how the plates, if they're expired, you have a 6-month window. This is what the Pope was breaking down to him. You have a 6-month window if your plates are expired. You know what I mean? So, you know, just be careful or whatever. Now, didn't give a license. Right? No talk of insurance. Let me see insurance papers or nothing like that. Right? He gave a nationality card, right to travel card. And then there's more, but you know, have a good night or whatever. No tickets, nothing like that. Don't forget, plates expired. Plates are at 5 months, so you know what I mean. It's like it's a pass, but he didn't ask him for a license after he gave him the nationality card. He accepted the right to travel card as identification, that he never seen one like this, and you know, he obviously read the back, right? Knew what he was getting himself into, right? And that was it. End of situation. Not even showing a license. Using a nationality card. Highwayman takes it, accepts it as an identification, and brother just keeps it moving. Some more. Exercising his birthright. Study. Study. Study some more. And just study. Something happened. Had a choice to make. Exercise nationality or be Negro, black, colored. Well, I mean, I have the card in my pocket. Might as well just give it up. Gave it up. And which leads again to another more. That's interesting. It's interesting how people say, you know, unity in the Moors, no unity amongst the Moors. Don't listen to those fools talking like that. Don't listen to anybody talking negative about Moors. Nobody. Right? Active Moors. Not just talking negative about Moors. Talking negative about active Moors. Because we had a Moor call me the other day. Went to the temple. You know what I mean? First time. Goes to the temple first time, right? Dropping some, you know what I'm saying? More science on them. You know what I mean? Where do you learn that or whatever? You never been to More Science Temple? How come you know all that stuff or whatever? Oh, you know, because I study from, you know, Taj and, you know, RV Bay Publications and, you know, no, you can't go to them. Don't go to them. They're not the ones that have the right stuff for the... Don't listen to Moors that talk negative about Moors. Because this is birthright. This is your stuff. Show you how much of your stuff this is. No unity amongst Moors, right? But a Moor, Louisiana, Islam to Brother Bay. Right? Moors all the way out there. I'm all the way up here or whatever. Right? And I have a lecture And then he drives, 5 hours, 8 hours, whatever. Just come to his lecture, whatever. You know. But there's no unity amongst Moors. But he's gonna send me something, for Moors. He's not sending me something. Oh yeah, Kudro, here Kudro, this is yours, cause you're. Nah, like he's sending this for Moors. Cause people have to know that this is not some joke stuff. This is real. This is really real. But it depends on you how real it is. Cause it's a birthright. This is not, oh, that guy want to do what that guy. No, you have your own path in this. You have your own runway for yourself. You don't have to share the runway, your own runway. Do what you're supposed to do with your birthright. This is your birthright. Well, I can't tell you how to exercise your birthright. Whatever risk comes involved with it, hey, that's just, part of what it is. Because we haven't had birthright for 100 years. So you're going to have, to run through some thorns and stuff to get back on the path. You know what I mean? Like, that's what the black thing did. Straight you off the path. Have you all in the picker bush. Have you in the picker bush. Get your feet all cut up, your hands all cut up or whatever like that. Because you want to be Negro, black, colored, African, Kemetic people. Want to return some Nile Valley. You can't return the Nile Valley. Why you return to Mississippi? That's a Nile Valley. Why you return up the mound builders? Why y'all do something like that since y'all here and y'all aren't even near the freaking goddamn Nile Valley right now? Nile Valley's freaking so far from here right now, and you're repping some Nile Valley, but you're not gonna rep some mound builders that were on the Mississippi, which flows south to north just like the Nile. But you're not gonna rep that. We're going to go all the way over there to go rep some dead land. People out scraping off faces and stuff like that. And you want to claim that as your ancestor or whatever? you have earth stuff that's been here before that stuff over there? Well, you're from over there. So we just want to verify, right? You just want to verify and stress the point that you're Moors. Everybody knows that you're freaking Moors. Negro, black, colored people, black conscious, whatever, all the conscious rapper guys that want to say that you're black people and all that, selling you out, trying to make Yasin Bey accept Mos Def as AKA. What was also known as nothing? Yasin Bey. What's wrong with you guys? He called me Mos Def and stuff. I know he's mad. Don't worry, more Islam. Don't worry, just. You know what I mean? Forget them clowns. But they love the black deadness. They love it. They love the feces. They love it. Spoonfuls, feces for days. They love the feces. Niggers. She even told them. She even told them to their face. She's French, which means that she's a European, which means she classifies as a white man. She classifies as relation to the white man, same white man who they say kill crackers or whatever. She told them to their face, you guys are niggers. You guys are niggers. You guys are niggers. What did she say? What did she say? She called us niggers. Didn't do nothing to that cracker. Nothing. Why? Because all they want you is to sell out your birthright and be some punks that you wouldn't even split that cracker's wig or whatever for calling you nigger. Talking crap. Tell the people about their nationality and birthright. Stop lying to them. Lying to people that you're not Moors. You're not the Aboriginal indigenous people of the Americas. Forget the world. No, we Americas. Forget about claiming somewhere else, because we could claim everywhere. But let's just talk about Americas. You mean to tell me that all these stories about these guys who just happen to get shipwrecked here, just these guys, it's just stories out there, just shipwrecked. Just people get shipwrecked. Where shipwreck come from? You know where shipwreck come from? Shipwreck come from Moors. Moors who were beyond this plane back then, making boats and hovercrafts and stuff like that, going across the ocean, crashing on some island somewhere, and then some indigenous people are there. Moors, navigators of the seven seas. Forget Barbary pirates. That's late in our navigational expertise. Because Brother Sheldon L went to freaking Australia or wherever to show you that Phoenicians are Moors. El Phoenicia. Everybody Moors. Except these stupid people want to be called themselves Negro, Black, Colored, African, Kemetic, Nation of Islam, Nuwapi, and all these fraud names they want to call themselves and don't have a nationality. And then when people come with nationalities and present it to them, they want to dodge stuff and try to let people accept their uncivilized niggerness. Right? When they know better. That's why we put out the contradictions. Show you. They know better. They know what like, how you gonna chase them on some stuff they're not teaching you what they know? That's priesthood stuff. As soon as they're not teaching you what they know, openly, without a charging of whatever, none at the door or whatever. That's priesthood brainwashing stuff. What they would relate to cults or whatever. This is birthrights. This is you're tied to a nation. You're tied to a nation. So the more. I was in New Orleans this past weekend, so this is recent, for a cancer walk. And after the walk, my wife and I were leaving, and we came across the street and ran into some quote-unquote real Indians, Wild Boy and Chief something. My conversation was brief with them, but I told them that they weren't really Indians, and the chief said that he knows, and I said that I was a Moor, and I got no verbal response, only big Kool-Aid smiles. My wife is from New Orleans. She said she used to see the quote-unquote Indians out all the time, but at the same time, if you're not where they're at, you might not even see them. Now think about, okay, so you might not even see them, meaning that you would just miss who they are. Right? You would miss who they are. Right? On one sense, you would miss who they are because they look just like you. Because of Negro black color, you're walking around and you think everybody else around you is Negro black color, when not really. There's free slaves. There's Aboriginal indigenous people. Think about it like in the Kung Fu movies, when the Shaolin monk dressed up this one way, goes into a city or whatever. And then it's just this monk amongst all these other people. And he's just one there standing out amongst all these other people. Okay, that's the state of Negro black colored people. Right? And all these different people have nationalities that they know what their nationality is if you ask them. But these individuals, they want to be different than everybody else because they're the fathers of this and that, so they could say whatever they want. Now the other part of it is that there's no way that you could miss them. There's no way that you can miss them. Like, you can't be Negro black colored and see a quote-unquote black Indian and not have some questions, not because they are the same complexion of you, but because this is how they walk around when they walk around. So if you are Negro black colored, classified, if you're Negro black colored and you're in New Orleans and you see these two individuals walking down the street or whatever, and you don't have some questions for them, you probably deserve to be a slave. You deserve to get IRS doing whatever they're doing to you. You deserve to get highwaymen doing whatever that they want to do to you, because you can't see this walking down the street and not stop and have some questions for somebody. To hold on a second, because you know this is not some, you know what I mean, carnival BS. If this is how they are every day, as his wife says, you know, we see them. We know, like, this Louisiana. Anybody seeing this and they don't have some questions? No comments for them or nothing? You deserve to be where you're at. So we wanted to also put on the record some perspectives, because, you know, as active Moors that relate to each other, right? You know, recognize that this is nationhood, right? This is not joining up to something. You know what I mean? Put it out there that, you know, want to get your perspective on black power, because, you know, you're a teacher, you know what I mean, to us or whatever. You know what I mean? You're somebody that, you know, your perspective should be put out there a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? So black power, black consciousness, and black status. So this is just some perspectives from Moors that, you know, you might have heard of, you might not have heard of, but, you know, what we do as active Moors is for the Moors, it's for the Moorish nation. Because if I'm here saying that I'm a Moor, then there must be a Moorish nation. No, I don't need to see some paper verify that there's a Moorish nation. I'm Moor. Why wouldn't there be a Moorish nation if I'm a Moor? She's French, right? France. So everybody accepted her as French or Japanese, which again, they didn't say yellow people. You know, the beige people and the yellow people, they call them by their nationality. But it's awfully hard for them to call themselves by their nationality Moors. But they'll easily accept this individual saying that they're French, and this other individual that's mixed through her, recognizing that that's a nationality, Japanese, not a color, not yellow people. They know that. But they keep pushing the black thing. But nobody else is dealing with black, so why are you dealing with black? Quite interesting. Quite interesting. So this is for the good brother, Seton Rabe. Black status, consciousness, and power. Black status will always fail the people simply because they have no idea what that status represents. Being black, not only in the Americas, but in all nations across the earth, is a dead status and is not recognized by nature's law or man's law. The word black, when referenced in any dictionary, is sullen, dirty, dark, dead. The legal status of black is one that will keep those who agree to be black in a lifetime of servitude simply because they agree to be nothing. Even when they are told that the word originated between 1300 and 1500 AD, they still cling to it and refuse to let it go simply because of emotion. Black consciousness is equally as dangerous as the status of being black, quote unquote. To say your consciousness is to say you're awake. To say you're conscious is to say you're awake, which means your eye is open. We must keep in mind that most of the public has been lied to and kept in the dark about their true origins and nationality and in past years, but they have also had enough time to find the truth as well. The so-called quote-unquote black consciousness has brought many unconscious Moors together in a fight they'll never win. No reparations, no anything will ever be given to quote-unquote black people because lawfully, literally, they don't exist. Remember, to be conscious is to be awake. If you are not awakened to the fact that what the black represents, then you can fully say you are awake and conscious. To stay in a consciousness that has so many negative connotations and has never brought any success says that the people and the black conscious movement are still not awakened and lawfully dead. Black power may be the most dangerous of all. The black power movement in the eyes of the de facto is a terrorist movement, although it is not. It is a defense against the true terrorists. Saying black power is one thing. Black is an adjective and could be describing a specific thing. But the word is being used to identify a people, it loses all its power. The black power movement at its height got our brothers and sisters shot and killed, arrested, etc. It changed nothing. Be realistic and not emotional. If we referred to ourselves by the names of our foremothers and forefathers, we would have long ago gotten the respect we deserve. If so many black people were not concerned with power, we would have followed the instructions of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, and there would have never been a need for the black status, consciousness, or power to ever be discussed. That's Brother Seton Rabe. You could just go on YouTube, check him. You know what I mean? He's got some stuff. Got some stuff for you. The next one, to go to the general, because you know, when the Moors start realizing that this is theirs and it's not something that can be given to you, it's something that you adopt, because you have to accept the fact that, you know, ain't no cavalry coming. It's just you and your birthrights. And you can only exercise what you know. You can only exercise the muscle back here if you know about it. So there's certain, you know, that you would do to get back there. Because getting there is different than getting here. Right? So you're not going to exercise what you don't know. Because then you pull something and then, you know what I mean, you're walking like this for 5 weeks because doing stupid stuff you shouldn't be doing. So the next one, no more always goes in. Brother Battle Bay, the general, he's gonna talk about, oh no, I'm not, or whatever. But when you paid the due, you know what I mean, even though, you know what I mean, there was people who, you know what I mean, fought not to go or whatever like that, but the fact that, you know, people who know that they're Moors now have the experience that we can say that they're a veteran because they served, just like the brother who does his time or whatever, didn't snitch on nobody and all that stuff or whatever, did their time. Okay, there's more that did their time, you know what I mean, fighting for this republic under the disguise of a democracy. And you know, many didn't come back, but those ones that came back, they're veteran, but now they're Moors. They're not Negro black colored anymore. So highest ranking official then. So general. That's why we give honors to all the veterans, right? Especially the Asiatics that fought, regardless of whatever flag or whatever, because they weren't fighting for some Africa. They were over here fighting. They were here fighting with the Indians and all that stuff. Cowboys and Indians, it was all us. It was all us. We were the Cowboys and the Indians, and we were going against the Pilgrims and whoever else were trying to come over here. Forget over there. Right? Black status only exists here to keep people here absent-minded of nationality. That all the generals who are veterans now that went over there to go fight had the people over there telling them, what are you doing over here? Fighting for these guys. And let them come back. Let them come back. Just go talk to them, they'll let you know. They'll tell you. Because as soon as you go over there, you realize everybody looks like you. And it's not like how they presented it. Yeah. Foreign, whatever. Right? So, greetings, Grand Sheik. Here are my thoughts on the following 3 items you mentioned. Getting started. It is my view the word black is an adjective, is not capable of relating or conveying the nature of a people, either contemporarily or in the past. This is an adjective and has no tie to the highly melanated people who are aboriginal or autochthonous. Furthermore, when we study etymology, we can clearly see that the word black denotatively means pale and or bleached. Moving on, a word that clearly defines any quote-unquote natural person must be noun first, and then it must refer to a landmass, country, or nation. Why is this so? Because to not refer to nationality takes away historical events, culture, creed, phenotype, nature, diet, dress, habits, architecture, practices, geography, flags, seals, government, and any other relevant issue to a civilized people. To be more specific, mentally, when someone is asked, where are you from, or what's your nationality, just like the so-called doctor, all these doctors, these conscious community black doctors, right, that Brother Wakari's putting them on the record that they're speaking from a position of knowing knowing that nationality plays a part, to even ask that question. But then when you ask them, they're not going to reference landmass, country, or nation. To be more specific, mentally, when someone is asked where are you from or what's your nationality, to say one is black brings an image of the descendants of slaves in North America to what were brought from so-called Africa under enslavement. This paradigm in and of itself clearly displays the fact that we have a people whose nationality was taken away and all relative aspects of it. Thus, we have a man who once, Kunta Kinte, being called Toby. Interestingly, when you separate the name Toby in 2 parts, you have to be. In short, there is truth in the lie that all of us were brought from across the Atlantic, which is why it's so convincing. However, the truth is, we were subjugated by many. Murder, theft, rape, and genocide, etc. but we were already on every continent known to man. So when someone says, I'm a Moor, mentally, if I've learned any true history, many pictures quickly flash through my mind. Whereas when you say black, Negro, or African American, only a few pass through the mind's eye. And don't forget, nobody knows or whatever, but keep in mind the relative theme in all these Moors addresses to the nation of Moors that are active, right? Comprehending that for us Moors, we don't just say things and give no reference. Look at historical events and see if there is any correlation to the information I've just stated. Ask yourself, are there any events in history that show a clear pattern of people's Aboriginal names being stripped in conjunction with names, appellations of lands being changed? Were there any activities by those who call themselves colonists, burning books, committing genocide, forced relocation, conflicts, and wars? So if any of that is true, this means there was indeed an infrastructure set up to address these activities. Now today we have many individuals who take these tags and make them ancestral when they did not even exist beyond 1100s. 1. Black status. This status only exists under control of the descendants of colonists or any other national, having no true independence, freedom, or national sovereignty. In short, wards of the corporate state. Through trickery and as cheating, you are the lowest level you are the lowest level in society, or having been brought into existence unnaturally with a de jure bloodline. C. Whether billionaire or homeless, you are under the jurisdiction of a foreign people on your ancestral estate that you believe is not yours. Black consciousness. This can be perceived as how man, indoctrinated into blackness, perceives other forms of information filtering in through a mind with an incomplete base of information and concepts as it pertains to our true history on this planet called Earth. Though one in this condition, calling themselves black, may be able to perceive some of the wonders of the divine, or some of our foremothers and forefathers calling oneself a dead and pale thing, cancels out being able to truly embody these things. By the way, I mean no disrespect to those of us who are pale-skinned. Go to any social media site and look at how many who refer to themselves as being black or are part of the so-called conscious community, quote-unquote, conduct themselves. Have a simple disagreement with one, and the first thing they'll do is call you nigger and names in a childish, utmost mentally deranged manner. All the while, if you're heavily melanated, they call you every derogatory name in the book associated with being heavily melanated. To me, it is extremely interesting that both terms nigger and black are also associated with a creature that generally would grow to knee-high of an adult man, a Negro, or is it Negro? K-N-E-E-G-R-O-W or N-E-G-R-O-W. Black power. Again, the mere fact that the word black cannot ever truly be a highly melanated person causes a short circuit between those who refer to themselves as this. Why? Because it is a lie and does not apply. As a result, there can be no power toward positive activity. Furthermore, there can be no force, no action based on anything pertaining to unity, government, or nationhood. Any unity that exists is based in the lower self or a lower form of thought, much like a pack of chimpanzees. Quite often, what you find are many who embody a phrase that I recently thought of called ego Negroes. These are mentally people calling themselves by these tags who care not for their fellow man and such, but rather are truly only concerned with what they can gain regardless of the consequences. Looking deeper on this, we can see there has never been success in times past within North America by those who refer to themselves as black. The very nature of blackness does not condone unity or government. These things are foreign to blackness. But I must say, success is a relative term. There are many who would see being a multi-millionaire via basketball as success in this society, when I would not. For me, success is when we know and accept our true place in history and lawfully seek out our birthrights associated with the blood flowing through our veins. Let me again be very clear. Blackness or black has nothing whatsoever to do with the beautiful and divine gift we know as melanin. According to science, black is death. Because of social engineering, these beliefs exist today. In my mind, when I look at a heavily melanated natural person, I don't see quote-unquote black skin. Instead, I see melanated skin, or skin with an olive hue. When I look at the vastness of space, I do not see darkness, but I rather see the existence of melanin in a cosmic form. In closing, Noble, if these three phrases were mathematical equations, they would cancel themselves out. When spelling or invoking forces, one must know that the true words or appellations must be used. This is a reason for changing the history books to say Jesus instead of Yahshua. Please pardon me if that is not spelled correctly. Regardless of what is believed intended by the one spelling, you must know the proper words. Also, let us look at the world in which we live. It is part of a solar system. When I think of the word melanin, it is clear it gives the body and mind the ability to absorb rays of the sun beyond any other living creature on the planet. I mention this because knowing we exist within a solar system, being pale will also be counterproductive, and like in math, cancel out the equation. In short, the melanated among us can never truly be black on numerous levels. Being black is against the very nature of creation itself. Black status equals pale status and does not apply to the melanated. Black consciousness, pale consciousness does not apply to the melanated. Black power, pale power consciousness does not apply to the melanated. I hope this information is helpful. Wholeness, respect, and love. So, we have the big brother, gave his part. The next installment, Brother Rami Salam L. Using black as our identity fails the people because it is synonymous with and holds or represents the legal political status of a Negro, and Negroes have no rights. Black consciousness fails the so-called black people because it keeps the people mentally enslaved. That form of consciousness distorts history and prevents the people from understanding their past, present, and future. And black power fails so-called black people because it is invoking power of another group of people. The etymology of black shows that black denotative meaning is pale. So when people say black power, they're actually saying pale power. And the so-called black people aren't pale. And then lastly, Brother Casanova Bay. 3 reasons why I won't call myself black and or won't say black power. If I were to wear a black outfit, could someone distinguish my clothing from me? From what I recall, nobody wanted to be black, which is why they referred to each other as African booty scratchers when they became upset with one another. Going back to the same thing Brother Bakari was talking about playing the name game, try to make them yellow, try to make them dirty just like they are, so they can have the upper hand in the black consciousness. That's an illusion. Most of the times I heard black man is when someone was attempting to persuade someone else to commit an act that they previously said no to as if to cause guilt. Most people that call themselves black will point to another and say, but not black like that. Now, we're just going to go hear some more of the buffoonery with the sister from France beating up on these guys and their black stuff. And them just not wanting to accept the fact that nationality is the order of the day. This is from somebody else now. Forget Moors. This is somebody else now pushing nationality, matriarchal perspective, right? Common sense, and them hitting that brick wall, the same brick wall that they hit with Moors when they try to push their foreign European psychology concepts on Moors and expect Moors to accept it like, oh yeah, we'll just support black businesses, you know what I mean, because our people are black people, but they don't know yet. No, they're Moors. They're not black people. They don't have black businesses. They have Trinidadian business, Jamaican business. You know what I mean? Even that, saying that's even better than saying that it's just black stuff. Because at least that ties you to at least a little piece of a landmass somewhere. Might be an island in the middle of the ocean or whatever, but hey, that's better than even saying black.
Like we are just as confused over here. You got Japanese youth that's confused over there. See?
Right? And then she's like, I'm not Japanese, right? Overpower people with their black consciousness, you know what I mean? It's like the dark cloud that just comes, swallows everything, and then just people start disappearing. And then you realize that, oh, it wasn't aliens, it was a government conspiracy. And these guys are really working for the other side, keep you black. Because that's the only way that the so-called dissolved, bankrupt, insolvent corporation could live. If the people stay black. Right? And then trying to draw her in to the foolishness. Hard trying to draw her in.
So you are with your father? Yes. So you're not French, you Japanese.
I'm as French as Japanese, and actually because Japan doesn't want me to have two passports.
Right, just like we are just as confused over here, you got Japanese youth that's confused over there. She thinks she's French.
I'm French.
She thinks she's French. Talk to her, Reggie.
Right. So this is what we're saying. So what do you know about your Japanese heritage? Like, what do you know?
I know less than about French heritage because.
Right. So right, and she's verifying that the patriarchal side, I don't have nothing to do with. It's not. That's not who I am. I'm through my mother. I'm French, even though I look like I might be Japanese. Right? She's not dissing her mom. Why would she diss her mom? You can't diss your mom. You brought you into the world, you're gonna diss your mom? And say that you're, oh yeah, my dad. Like, it doesn't work like that in nature. When you start violating nature, nature's gonna come do some stuff to you. Right? So she's verifying that I don't know about that side, and they keep forcing the patriarchal. But remember, she has the nationality shield, so she's good. She's not gonna, you know what I mean, fold. She's not gonna, out of circumstance, okay, fine, I'll say that I'm, just so that we can have unity and have a discussion instead of, you know what I mean, you guys beating me up. You trying to do her like Merkel or whatever.
Because I've born in Japan, in Tokyo,
Yes.
but I lived all my life in France, and my mother is completely French, and her name is Sabine Chrétien, is French, you know, like all my cousins are mixed, but we are all French because we have French passport. I don't have Japanese passport anymore.
She said, he wants to know again. What do you call black people?
Les noirs.
Les what?
Les noirs.
Les waka. I'm sorry, I can't do that.
It's okay.
Explain. Now, what do you call African people?
Les Africains.
In
Right? So the dead mindset is trying to play the dead mindset game like they play the dead mindset game with people here. Right? So logically, in the black consciousness, black power mindset, what do you call African people? Black. Because that's what they're trying to justify, the blackness. But they can't justify the blackness because African is Afrique. African in her language. Nothing even having to do with black. So she's clearly identifying to these 10,000 people or whatever that watch this, that one, there's no such thing as a people called black, because black in their language is an adjective too, and it doesn't have anything to do with identity of somebody. And then the identity of somebody is related to a continental landmass for where she is, because she even admits that, oh yeah, because of my age, so we know that she's young. You know what I mean? You know, she's not, but she's young. Right? So she's not even fully in her right. You know, why they get some elder? Because they gotta manipulate. You know what I mean? They can't have too much of the nationality being exposed, because it verifies their fraud on their record. No different than somebody says, I want to get the transcripts or whatever for my court thing. And then, you know, court figures, I guess, whatever, you know, the court, the court of whatever versus whatever it may. And then give it to them more. And then don't realize that, we just made that public record that he's Bay and he was, and that he didn't need a license and that he didn't need this, and we just messed up. Right? This is what's happening right now. But because the people do not have nationality as a mindset, because they're being taught that this is foreign to them, to their culture, that being tied to a landmass, forget the word nationality. Nationality ties you to a landmass. And there's no black landmass in the world. There's no landmass for black people anywhere in the world. So for her to say, relative to what do you call these people call African, and they're looking for the answer black, that they didn't get because she said African, then that, just like we were saying, cancels out their position. Their position is canceled out. Right now they have no position. Right now this thing's done because status got put on the record. She's French. They have no status. Plaintiff in error. Goes to her. It's automatic. Like, not even nothing to talk about. Not even to go further. This is where it's done. 3 minutes, 38 seconds, where it's done. Because she put on the record numerous her nationalities France. And they haven't named a landmass yet. Plain people.
Africa in Paris, there are a lot of Africans.
Yeah, a lot. Les Africains.
Yeah, what?
Les Africains. Means
So,
from
if
Africa.
I go to
It means from Africa too, right? Right? So took it and verified that it doesn't mean black. African doesn't mean black in that language. African means from Africa. I know. They can't verify whether they're from Africa. So they have about 50 strikes right now against them in this little dialogue. 3 minutes. She stuck to her status that she's French. They try to say that she's Japanese, all this type of stuff. She stuck to the fact that, you know what I mean? I speak French. I was born in France. Blah, 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 blah. She kept going and going and going. Representing the matriarchal side. Representing the matriarchal side. Because matriarch rules. Matriarch is where it's at. Patriarch is secondary. It's nothing personal against patriarch. It's just what it is.
If I go to Paris, will you call me?
How I will call you?
Huh? So what is a nigga?
Yeah.
It's so mixed, so you don't have only from Africa.
What is a nigga?
Do you?
Right? So it's like, what would you call me? Well, I don't know what I'll call you, because over there, it's, you know, it's not just people from Africa there. Right? Again, sticking with the concept that, you know, it's not yellow people, brown people, whatever like that. There's different nations. So you're not identifying a nation to me. You're just saying you people. What do you mean by you people? This is her in her mind, right? Because trust me, I work at the school, and we talk about this all the time with these people who don't even know English. That in their mind, it doesn't register of something called black people. Like, that's something foreign to their mind. Regardless of where they come from, what language they speak. They always relate, always relate, quote unquote, black people to what they see on TV. That's it. Right? That's the only reference point that they have as far as these people that are called black people. Right? And these are people ranging from young adult to elders, grays or whatever, going to school to learn English. Get math credits and stuff like that. Do night school or whatever. Right? And they know that there's no such thing as black people over here. They call them something there, you know, like a sister from Ethiopia. She's like, well, we call you American. Why? Because you're from America. No, but we're from Africa. No, like, you're from America though. Like, yeah, your ancestors are from Africa, but you're from America. This is the Ethiopian talking. So what about somebody that's European that lives in America? No, we'll call them wherever they're from in Europe. In our country. We won't call them American too. They're not American. They're from, you know, Germany or whatever. This is the Ethiopian. This is what is in their mind frame as far as the world. That is the nations. And if you're not part of a nation, then, you know, I don't know. I don't know what you asking me. You're not even putting a position out. Like, I'm saying I'm French. And then you keep saying you people, I people, these people over here. Like, what are you referring to? Right? Lost in the sauce.
No. Have you ever heard the word nigga before?
Yes!
What's that mean? Why you laugh? Why you say yes?
Of course I say yes, because everybody knows what is a nigger.
What is a nigga? You know a nigga all around the world. Tell a point of
Like everybody in Harlem?
Right? So, what's a nigger? Like, everybody in Harlem. People who classify themselves as nothing, that don't have a nationality. She's not talking about the people in Harlem like that. She's talking about these people right around here who I'm seeing in front of me right now. They got their baseball hat and a knapsack and a jacket, and you know what I mean? And and they look like the guys that we see on TV that act like niggers. So, I mean, like, y'all the niggers, because you're not telling me who you are. We're 4 minutes in. You didn't put your nationality on the record yet?
That's what I'm telling you.
Like you.
Why you smile? Why you smile?
What do you mean, why is she smiling? Because you're stateless people. Like, this is not serious to her. Because this is obviously some type of comedy thing or whatever. Because you're telling me that, like, what are you? I'm telling you, as somebody from France, that you're a nigger, and I'm laughing about it. Who's the joke on? Who's really the joke on? The joke is on the stateless goof. The guy with the Africa pendant around his neck or whatever, right? Black power and all this type of stuff. But they're getting played by some girl from France. Playing them. That nationality is the order of the day. Laughing at them. Laughing at them. In their face. And remember, she's from France, so she's a cracker. You know? Yeah, they go into the gun range and all that. They got a gun club. Or it's just hypocrisy. It's fleecing the people to come see Return of some Nile Valley with only men on the thing. Patriarchal crap. Return of Nile Valley and there's no women on the stuff. When Nile Valley is feminine.
Nigga me.
Because that's so cool.
It's cool. No, it's not.
It's so cool to me.
Yo, Reggie. Huh? Reggie, relax. Don't play with it. We need this information. Yeah. Okay. Because we want to show her how people think out there in France. It's not just her.
So around the world, we are niggas.
Yes?
Right? So remember, she's not talking about Africans. Right? She's not talking about Africans. She's not talking about Asians, Japanese, or whatever like that. She's talking about these people that live in Harlem. Right? That the world knows that they're niggers. Verifying that the world knows that they're niggers. And keep in mind, always keep in mind that she's French. She's from France. They put on the thing, Japanese woman, when she's not even Japanese. Japanese woman calls us niggers and watch Negroes in the comments make excuses for her. And she's French. She's from France, which is the Europeans, which is the cracker, which is the slave master, which is the devil. But they're not killing no crackers around here. She's in their face telling them the world knows that you guys are niggers. The world knows that they're niggers. Which includes everybody who's down with that, repping that, you know what I mean? Without a status, without a nationality, without putting their status on the record of who they are. Just like she said, yo, you seen y'all, just like the rappers. She's not qualifying whether it's, you know, who she talking about? She talking about Buckshot? She talking about Rock M? She talking about Eminem? Like, what's she talking about when she says rappers? What do you mean she hears the rappers say nigger? So that's what she has as a reference point. Right? There's no qualification. It's assumed. Color. Guilty by association. That's why you stay away from black people when you know that you're more. Because you'll be guilty by association. And whatever judgment they're going to get, you're going to get. Piece of it. Just for being with them. That's why Noble Drew Ali told Moors live together. Live close to each other. What do you think he's saying that for? So Moors could deal with Moors. Not have to worry about dealing with Negro black colored people. But nah. They want to be black guys. They say unity. Yeah, unity amongst the black guys. Killing them. Telling them that they're niggers. The world knows.
Why it would be a bad thing?
Right? Why would it be bad to call you nigger? Like, that's what you are. Right? This is a European letting them know. Right? I seen you on TV say nigger. So, y'all niggers. Y'all ain't said that you're nothing else. My reference point is what I see on TV. Because where I come from, there's all types of people there. And obviously Africans don't act like niggers over there. You know, I mean, or they would classify them as niggers, as the blacks. But they don't. They're dealing with this particular demographic that is in their vicinity right now that looks like the people that they see on TV that does nigger stuff. Right? That's why he's supposed to have your culture. He has the stuff around his neck. Talk about Africa pendant. But you're in America though. What you got Africa pendant in America for? You know what your birthright is? Oh, so they're going to classify you, or they're going to assume that you're a nigger. And if you're a nigger, then you get whatever it is that you're supposed to get as nigger.
Why would be a bad thing?
I'm a Jap. I'm a Jap, you know.
Right? No, Jap is derogatory to them. Right? So now check how crazy nationality is. Nationality is so crazy that the derogatory name for a Japanese comes out of the nationality. It's not some foreign thing. She's saying it like a nickname. Jap. Why don't they want to be called Jap? Because that's not their nationality. So call me Japanese. If you call me Jap, that's disrespect to my nationality. But what's nigger? Nigger's not no nationality. There's no nigger land that ties niggers to that.
You see me as I.
Yes. What do you know we have contributed to the world? What have
Yeah.
people like us contributed to the world? What have we done in the world?
You mean you or your ancestors?
Yeah.
Right? When you don't put your status on the record, everything's up for assumption. So because they haven't qualified who they are, right? You say you're African. Okay, African what? You got Africa pendant. Okay, well what does that mean? Like what's your culture? African is not a culture. That means people from Africa. That's all. So you can't be African because that means people from Africa. That's not an identity. There's nothing tied to that. So they're asking them again now. Like, what do you mean? Are you talking about you personally? What have you done for the world? Or what have your ancestors or...
My ancestors.
I don't know where you're from. I don't know where.
My ancestors. Like,
But I don't.
Right? Continually. Getting frustrated now. Like, I don't know where you're from. Like, you're asking me a question about culture and civilization and what has a people done, but you're saying what do you mean? That's dumb people talking. Where you from?
I don't know where you're from.
I'm a nigga.
Yes.
What happened?
Right? So she says, where are you from? From means geographical location. The conscious doctor guys of the conscious community, that 10,000 people going to watch their stuff, these guys are going to be lined up around the door or whatever to pay $20 for the back to whatever conference of some crap. That's not going to tell you about birthrights or nothing like that. Keep putting this black game. Right? The Kemetic Hebrew Israelite, we are the founders of whatever, says that he's a nigger. And she says, I know. I'm not talking about your derogatory, stateless position that you seem to think is an identity. I'm not talking about that. I'm throwing that aside because I don't want to deal with that crap that you're talking about. And I'm asking you, where are you from? Give me a geographical location. Because I know the world. Because I have a nationality. So from a world perspective, my reference point is a geographical location. Where is that place that references to you? And they can answer. When they know that, they should say Morocco. They know they should say I'm Aboriginal and Indigenous. They try to run all that fraud stuff that they're pulling all these Negro black color people who want to be conscious, think conscious is the next thing to be part of because the black power guys have guns now and you people are lost in the sauce. It's all about nationality. The French girl is telling you on the black 101 stuff, 102 whatever. And you can't see the hypocrisy, the contradictions. You can't see the contradictions. That there's no such thing as calling yourself African or black or anything like that. Because it doesn't exist in the world. Because this is someone, and again, their purpose of using this is to try to show, yeah, you know what I'm saying? We are the, they ain't nobody, they're stateless. She's telling them, you guys are niggers, I know you're niggers. Don't tell me that you're a nigger, I know that. But where are you from though? Listen to her frustration.
Oh, your ancestors?
Yeah,
like,
my ancestors.
I don't know where you're from. I don't know where.
My ancestors, like
But I don't know where you're from.
I'm a nigger.
Yes,
What
but
happened,
from
nigga?
where? From where? I cannot tell.
For you. Well, wait. Game.
Right? I'm a nigger. Okay, cool. I'm not against that you're a nigger or that you're black or that you're African or whatever. What geographical location are we referring to in order for us to continue the conversation? Because we can't go anywhere until your status is on the record. Moore's been telling people this. Status is the first thing that has to be put on the record. Moore's been telling people society is really the court. There's court going on right now. On Sanada Studios, House of Consciousness, court is happening right now. Where a national is challenging the status of the Negro black color conscious black guys. And they don't even have a status to put on the record.
For you.
So you're born here?
Don't tell her you're a nigga. You gotta give her the history now. What's going on?
No, that's what she called me. So.
But that right? So now she asked him, where are you from? He said, I'm a nigger. And then is gonna turn around and say, that's what she called me. You guys don't see that they're playing, you guys? You guys gonna still go support conferences and all that stuff with this black BS? Think that you have some salvation there? When all these people know that they're Moors, they debated Moors so much. They freaking had so much Moors on their stuff, has the most views on their stuff. But they're not Moors though.
People, right?
I know.
What have we done?
I know nigger from rap songs.
Oh, okay. You know niggas from rap songs.
So that's why I say you're all niggers because of the rap songs.
Right. Okay. So now, what have we done for civilization? The African, the African. What have we done? What
Rap songs?
No, but
No,
no.
okay.
Yeah, what else?
What else?
Yes, what else we done before besides rap?
Like all the music, the energy.
What about Egypt? Did we build the pyramids?
Okay, yes.
African built the pyramids.
Yes, because it's the territory of Africa, like
Yes, we built the
Africa.
Right? So
This
the
one?
pyramids are in the territory of Africa. So, like, of course, Africans built them. Like, what? First of all, you never answered the question where you're from. On top of not answering the question where you're from, you're playing this game of wanting to try to continue court when you haven't put your status on the record. So is this really court or is this joking around? Because, just joking around, then, you know what I mean? The best things Africans did was make rap songs, like, right?
So we do great.
Like everything that's come from Africa, but not only because you're everywhere, so
Okay.
I think,
Okay.
I don't know.
So
You're everywhere.
do
Right? Verifying that you're from everywhere. So
people
pick somewhere. You're from everywhere. So just pick somewhere to verify so we can continue the stuff. But you want to get around. Don't want to do a nationality. You want to play this European psychology patriarchal game. Like that's a reality. When that's a fiction. French girl telling you that it's a fiction.
in Paris treat us good? Do they treat African good?
But what do you mean people from Paris? Because people from Paris,
People from
like
France.
everybody.
People from France.
I'm French.
Yeah, do they
I
treat us
treat
good?
everybody good.
Do they treat the niggas good in France?
It depends of who. You talk about the police, you talk about who? You talk about
The government.
the government?
Yes.
I think there is a lot of problems in Paris.
The reason why that word is an offense to us, we say it to each other, right? We say it. Black people call each other nigger, but we don't say it in the term that it was given to us, right?
Exactly. This is what.
But
Okay.
what's not allowed, though, is for other people to refer to us as nigger. The history behind nigger is a very offensive, negative, right? Demeaning term. So you say you call your friend a bitch. In popular...
Now, with all these scholars or whatever, all these scholars, young masters and all this type of stuff, lecturing and doing all this type of stuff, right? How come nobody just said the French word more to her and see what she said as far as the identification? Because I mean, she does speak French. So if people are going to come up and try to, you know what I'm saying, put out that they have knowledge of stuff, because, you know, they're going to bring up terms like negus, which is in Ethiopia, which has nothing to do with her, instead of bringing up more, which is directly relative to her, when that's what should be asked, because her reference point is French. You know how these people are playing you. Playing you. And then what happens? Right? Then what happens?
I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it that she don't know what nigga means. I'm not buying it. I don't give a damn. I'm not buying it because you in France, and if you call our brothers niggas in France, they're gonna check you.
Okay, but she just called y'all niggers in Harlem. And you ain't checked nobody. So, what's this black power stuff or whatever when no power is not being exercised? Obviously, ain't no power in black power. Because, I mean, you know, if kill crackers is the theme, right? And then French people are from France, which are Europeans, which are crackers, then it should be checking something. But nah. They want you to go out there and go check some people and get your ass kicked by some Klansmen. That's what they want. They're not going to risk their head. They want you to take your head for the black power. They want you to be like Khalid. Take one for the black power stuff. So nah, forget all that. No more. I ain't Kunta Kente and all that stuff. You guys aren't even pulling me in those ones. And then there goes that talk. No more of that talk. Got him out the way. Because you know Khalid would have woke up all these people to the fact that they're Moors. Because he knew that nationality was the order of the day. He knew that nationality was the order of the day. He knew. Got him out the way so they can keep pushing their black BS. Keep you in slavery, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, economically. Any way you think about it, you're enslaved that way by classifying yourself as Negro, black, colored, especially the black stuff.
So I'm not buying it.
I never called someone a nigger.
Right, but you just called us a nigga. And you...
Yeah, I never called anybody a nigger. But you called us a nigger. Yeah, because y'all niggers. Now don't get mad at me. Why you guys getting mad at me? I didn't do nothing. I didn't say that you guys are niggers. You guys never qualified who you are. So my reference point is the niggers that I see on TV. You guys dress like the niggers on TV. So y'all gotta... What else are you guys? You never said what you are. Because status is the first issue. Like she's telling them to their face the same stuff Moore's been telling these people. Somebody from outside of America came to America and is telling them that nationality is the order of the day. And you're going to listen to them and not go claim your birthright? That's yours. It's yours. You'll find every excuse why you're not a Moor. Every excuse to be in this dead status, playing this game of statelessness. When the world knows and is trying to school these people, trying to put them on game that you're like, you guys are stupid. We're joking that you guys are niggers, and now you want to get mad. Like what? Like why are you mad? How are you mad now? Like how is it that you're mad? We're just joking about niggers. We're just laughing with each other when I called you guys nigger, and now you're mad. Like you are mad. Just. But you know, it's what it is. It is what it is. Right? Now, act the example. More just coming into the information pure, right? Coming into the information pure, just from studying, not because of situations, whatever, you know, stuff's gonna come up because, you know, this is a whole new realm. But when you get on this information, it's about studying and applying what you know. I mean, like, okay, right? So here's an example of baby steps, right? I took your advice to reserve my rights on the driver's license reapplication. I was lucky that they sent the contract to me in the mail. However, when I received the quote-unquote license in the mail, it had my original signature that I signed 5 years ago. and did not have the reservation of rights that I signed on it this time around. I made the biggest mistake and did not make a copy of that document. Do they still have this contract? Islam. Then the second email comes in, right? On second thought, I think what I'll do is write a letter to request a copy of the contract that I signed, indicating that the license does not display the fact that I reserve my rights, because I did not agree to all these conditions of this contract, and that prior signature was used without my consent. Right? So that's when you are starting to be what you know, right? Because you studied. And as soon as you study, you start realizing when these people are trying to run game or whatever like that, when they're trying to do some crap, you pick up on certain things. Just like how sis, all of a sudden, something just clicked in her head all of a sudden. Like, hold on a second. You know what? So then, so what we'll do, good job, you know what I'm saying, right? Good job on that one, using your common sense. Because that's really what it's about, using your goddamn common sense. That's what you have it for, right? So instead of write a letter, you're going to write a writ, right? You're going to write a writ instead of a letter, okay? So if you go on, rvbaypublications.com, Writs of Freedom, MoorishPublicRecords.com, there's writs there. And then those writs will show you how to formulate, how you talk to these people when you write them writs, not letters. We're moving away from letters. We're going to start writing writs now, right? And all the information's there. You know what I'm saying? Just, same thing. Use your common sense before everything, right? Always apply common sense, because that's all you have, right? It's birthrights. So everything that you were indicating or whatever that you were going to question or whatever, all those stuff are good things to question. Because, and then don't forget, you have your seals on the top of the document, which is already there, so you don't have to do anything with that. You know what I mean? You already have the concept that you're not Negro, black, colored. If you're going to say Islam at the end of your stuff, that means, you realize that, there's a different level to be on, right? So you realize that. So now it's about applying that thing that this is who you are, and you're challenging them, on their claim. Because why are you using something from 5 years ago? Which is a logical question. That's why I reserve my rights on this contract, because I know you guys are going to try some stuff. I know you guys are going to try some stuff. So keep studying. I mean, we appreciate Moors, sharing what they're going through. Got another one. I just started studying. I went to rvbaypublications.com and started with the Constitution and few other books. I'm just wondering how I connect with other active and knowledgeable Moors, because my hometown, Charleston, South Carolina, lacks them. So you're going to be it. And you're just going to keep studying. You know what I mean? Business as usual. Just keep studying. Because the more you study, the more you vibrate on a higher frequency. Now, when you start vibrating on a higher frequency, then you would be able to attract the right frequency to you, whether it's through Facebook or just like how we did through this, that you just picked up on the frequency, like, hey, I see a little beacon over there. Let me just go check over there, see what's going on over here, right? And this is what's going on, RV Bay Publications and all that stuff, right? So if there's no Moors, you haven't bumped into any Moors, seen any Moors yet, don't worry. Just keep your eyes open, because Drew Ali is not asleep, right? And continue to study. And the other active and knowledgeable Moors that you are putting the thought power out for, those Moors will pick up on the frequency and you will be in contact with them when Allah thinks the time's right for that. Right now, RV Bay Publications, if you just started studying, then you got some. Enjoy the rabbit hole. I'll see you in a couple weeks or something. Or I could be looking in the wrong direction. When looking up temples near my location, there are long essays of why someone left the temple or the temples. Tell me that I have to be married and I can't study astrology. Most things I research leave me feeling like I walked in on the end of an argument mixed with religion in the Moorish American world. So where do you start? Because I feel alone. So once again, right now, it's about your higher self and your lower self having a little sit down, right? Because right now is the time about knowledge. And knowledge involves being in tune with your higher self. So again, you're never alone because there's a higher and lower self. There's two. So two doesn't mean alone. Two means that there's, you have a companion. You have a higher self. And then depending on your astrology sign, you might be 4 or 8 or something like that, right? So you're not alone. That's why we got online stuff. So we got a little chat. You could chat with some people who are on the same frequency, same wavelength. Sometimes you have some weirdos that jump in, try to mess up stuff, but you know what I mean. As well, there's Blog Talk Radio. That's coming up at 9:30 tonight. And for Blog Talk Radio, 347-945-5899, blogtalkradio.com/MHHS-eyes wide open. That's 9:30. Right? So stay on the path. Don't worry about, all those weird stuff that you hear, that you have to be married and you can't study astrology and all that. That's why there's rvbaypublications.com, your temple away from the temple, where you can get some info, go into your little, little zone and, take this information in, because this is really where it's about being. If you're talking about, liberating yourself from mental slavery, you don't need to go all the way to Las Vegas or whatever like that, to go get some diagnosis from some legal doctor, under somebody's jurisdiction that says black people. Better off getting RV Bay Publications. You gotta read some books. That'll get you out of some stuff. So Islam to all the Moors, you already know. You already know how it goes, you know what I mean? Oh yeah, and Islam to all the Tauruses, you know what I'm saying? Because, we're getting it in right now. Even though they try that thing. They tried to have me completely out of it for, the moon, but they can't do it. You already know. Islam to all the Moors, Islam to the Moors that sent their stuff, you know what I mean, as usual. Peace and love to all the Moors. Oh yeah, and Islam to Brother Jed, because we realize that there's, a lot of Moors waking up out in the territory of Mount Royal. Where there are Moors out there. So all the Moors out there in that side, all the Moors out on that side, big up yourself for, staying on the path. And then Islam to all the Moors, our European fellow men that are standing behind the Prophet with us, right? Because you already know what's about to go down. So Islam to all of y'all. And again, to the active Moors, let's just get divine warning by the Prophet Drew Ali. Every temple and head is to function by works, deeds, and actions, imitating the Prophet, especially when teaching a group of Moors, any group of Moors. These are the general laws. The supreme laws will be handed to you later. The head of all temples are to submit a monthly report of all finance. The heads of all temples are to refrain from all wrathful words, profanity, and the mildest form from all the members of his or her temple. They must live the life of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and refrain from all alcoholic liquors or any other harmful possibility that will terminate to destroy peace or any other of the divine principles. They are not to contribute to anything that will cause the public to disagree with him or her. And for one to lead a group of Moors, you must keep your house clean, clean with good deeds, kind words. Your wives, brothers must hear good words, kind words, and must know of your good deeds. If there are children, you must see to their support. Follow this divine principle, for if you don't restrict to this divine principle, then you are not a true Moor. And the heads are not to charge for membership, or to overcharge for cards, buttons, or anything issued by the Prophet. Those who contribute to either of the preceding are not Moors, but robbers. Membership, sisters and brothers, is free, not only here, but all over the world. That's the Frenchie. The button is 25 cents, card 25 cents, and 1 month's dues are paid. Every member pays 50 cents a month for dues. This money goes towards the support of the temple. This, if not paid, does not entitle you to the protection that is provided for you, and especially if you are not working or in a position to work. If you neglect to fulfill this small duty assigned to you, how can you rightfully expect money or other help when you are sick or otherwise disabled? And to be a real Moorish leader, you must study the Quran and the divine constitution that is handed down unto you by I, the Prophet. The head of any temple can maintain an emergency fund, which cannot exceed the amount of from 25 cents to 50 cents per week per member. All public collections and dues also go to the support of the temple and its domestic work. All public collections and dues goes to the support of the temple for all the Moors who want to try to pocket those funds and think that by pocketing those funds you can, have a place. Nope, that means that you're a robber. It says right there, those who contribute to either of the preceding are not Moors but robbers. So watch out for robbers in these temples popping up all over the place that tell you dues, but it's not going to the functioning of the temple. It's going to their pocket, their Mercedes, you know what I mean? It's going to their freaking whatever that they want to pose with to make you feel that you should be down with them. The head of every temple must by law obey the word of the Prophet. And if any head leader or head of any temple fails to obey these laws, embezzlement is his charge and is subject to enforcement of the law by the grand body, which is the Moorish nation, and not some group of Moors, some grand body. And the penalty may be a fine or removal from office, right? Grab them off the podium and kick them out and elect somebody else to be the Grand Sheikh or the Grand Governor or whatever. Especially if they're doing all this embezzlement, robbing, charging for stuff or whatever. When they just ask the question and just go pull them off the stuff. and elect somebody else. Don't be high horse and jump up there and yeah, now I'm the prophet. None of those ones. None of those ones. Right? And the penalty may be a fine or removal from office or placed under very heavy restriction of the law. Supreme words of the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. So again, when you see these guys, ask them how come they never ask her what more means. How come they never ask that? How come they're gonna ask about all this stuff, what all this stuff means in their language, but nobody never thought to ask, hey, what does more mean? Oh yeah, because those are the more haters. Those are the stateless guys trying to get you away from your birthright. Make sure you go look up more, so you know what it means when you go see a French person. You can ask them the right stuff. Stop playing around with people's birthright. 5 on the left, 2 on the right. Allah, Father of the universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation by night and by day through his holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Islam. Ashe. Peace, Mars. Half hour.